Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Portia Monique, and today we have a fantastic guest by the name of Stephen Beck, who is a certified personal trainer, author, and actor. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So anyone can see that you are obviously a trainer, certified, we would assume, right? So you're certified. However, how did you get started with training?
Good question. Most people who follow me know I actually started in music. I can sing. I love music. It's been my first passion. But after a lot of ups and downs in that, I kind of decided to make a pivot. And that pivot was athletic sports because I've always been an athlete as well. Um, so yeah, I made the decision just to go ahead and go to school, NASM, and get my certification because I was really heartbroken from my music career not going how I wanted. So I was like, I need to do something else, get a new passion, something that while I was grieving the loss of that music career, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so glad that I did because making that decision opened up so many other doors for me that I never thought I'd be able to knock on.
Yeah.
And that was about now maybe 13 years ago.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, and that's been my main thing, and I'm so happy about it. So passionate about fitness and health, wellness, mental health, mental wellness, all of that.
Mm-hmm. And so you created something that's called the Beck Effect, right? So your name is Stephen Beck. You created the Beck Effect. Tell us all about the Beck Effect.
The Beck Effect is my training program. So all my clients, I train. I'm a very personal trainer, so to speak. I like to really get to know my clients. I'm very hands-on. I'm not just going to tell you what to do in the gym. I'm going to check on you at home. I'm going to make sure you're holding yourself accountable. I'm probably a little annoying, yeah, I mean, but I really am passionate about making the changes that you want, and I'm going to make sure you get there because my name is on it one, but also I want my clients to leave better than they came, and I want that to go further than when they leave me. I want them to take that with them. So I'm just really passionate about the work that I put into each and every one of my clients. So that's the Beck effect that you're going to get when you're working with me.
Now, you're also an author. Congratulations. The book drops today. Let's talk about Mind, Muscle, Movement, a guided wellness journey. Yeah,
Yes.
so let's talk about it.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about it. This journal is really ironically helped me in writing it. Just really seeing the journey that I've been through in life and in with becoming the version of myself I am today, and a lot of things that's in it. It's a tool that any level of fitness enthusiast could use to create the roadmap to their success. It asks thought-provoking questions about mainly what is your why, and not just I want to look good for summer, I want to lose 5 pounds. Though that's a small
It
that's
works
okay.
though, right?
That's okay, but it goes deeper than that because motivation is fleeting. You know what I mean? One day you can wake up and want to do something, and then after 2 days you're like, nah, on to the next. So this helps you measure like the steps you need to take to get there. It's not just a 1 day thing. This is an 8 week journal. So each week you'll create a new habit routine. So get in there and log in what you've done, what you need to do, where you want to go, what's holding you back. How do you overcome obstacles? It's all these little subsections to help you get to, at the end of it, hopefully you'll have a full understanding of your why. And then once you're done, you'll be able to take that and it'll become part of your lifestyle now. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's something that was going to stick with you. And that's really why I thought this was important. And it touches on mental health because that's a lot of changing your life in the wellness space. And a lot of people don't recognize that because it starts here. So I really wanted people to be able to see that and actualize it.
Mm-hmm. Now, you said that the journal actually helps you identify your why, right? And
Yes.
Speaking of your why, you grew up in Phoenix, Arizona. How did your early life influence your passion for fitness and wellness and what we're seeing today?
Yes, another good question. Growing up, I was in South Side of Phoenix, where sports is a given. Everybody, you have to play Pop Warner or basketball. Mine was Pop Warner football. Back then, I was a chubbier kid, at least in my eyes. I was a little heavy set. So I always felt a little out of place then. I always wanted to be, the cool kid. I always would measure myself to others. And that really stuck with me throughout my youth and also to my young adulthood. where I always wanted to be the best, look the best. I really had like this unattainable
Mhm.
vision of what I was supposed to be. And I didn't recognize until I got older that I was really causing myself harm, mental harm,
Mm.
because nothing was ever good enough.
Mhm.
No matter how many, how many shirtless photos I could take, no matter how many, likes I could get on a picture, I still was that little kid who was really unhappy with his self-image.
Yeah.
And I look back now and I was just a regular kid. I was a
Mhm.
regular healthy kid, but something in me because of society's um, outlook on health and the stigmas, like it made me feel like something was wrong with me, and I had to recognize I'm just fine. And as an adult, I recognize that at any size, I'm okay, and that starts with loving yourself and recognizing you're good, no matter if you're overweight, you're underweight. That's about how you see yourself, and you know that's the value is in here, and it's not the outside.
Right, right.
And
And that kind of speaks to body dysmorphia, right?
yes,
So tell us exactly what that is and how you help your clients to overcome that.
body dysmorphia, it's basically when you look at yourself and you're always seeing the negatives. You know what I mean? You don't see any positives in your self-image. You can give yourself harmful self-talk. Like I was
Mhm.
speaking on earlier, nothing's ever good enough. You're always poking at the problems or what you think is the problems versus the good things, what you've overcome, what you've worked
Mhm.
on. You're never satisfied. And I had that for so long. And it really was damaging to my brain, you know what I mean, to my health. I was
Mhm.
happy on the outside with a smile, but I realized that I'm never going to be satisfied until I became really aware of what it was and put a
Mhm.
name on it. And I was able to then take the time to start liking myself as I am and recognizing this is something that may be in me for a while. Like, I mean, it's never going to fully go away. But now that I know what the problem is, I can work
Mhm.
towards overcoming that problem.
Yeah.
Being that I know I have that problem, and to many people, I look like the epitome of physical fitness, right? But I know other people may suffer from that as well, and I want to be a safe space for people to come and recognize that I'm here with you. And I know the battle's a tough one, and it really does mess with your heart and your head, but you have somebody that's going to help walk that walk with you.
Mhm.
And that's what
Well,
I really want to like impart to anybody that works with me, that I speak with, that I'm here for you.
so how do we identify it in ourselves, right? Because other people can see us better than we can see ourselves. So number one, how do you identify it in your client? But overall, for the person themselves, how would they identify something like that with themselves?
I would say the best way is if you're constantly comparing yourself to others, to other people. If you're speaking negative more than positively about yourself, if you're like I said, if you're never satisfied with any of your achievements when it comes to your look, your clothes, your dress, how something looks on you, if you're just not all around satisfied with yourself, if you find yourself unhappy, you know what I mean, like unhappy with you. If
Mhm.
you all have those moments, when you're like not feeling yourself, when you have those moments, and if it's often, you need to take a step back and be like, why am I like, why do I feel this way about me? Like, how is anybody else going to really see me if I can't see me in the brightest light? How can I expect anyone else to see that light and really believe it? I have to see that first so I can let that shine.
Mhm. Now, what about the opposite, right? So let's just take Lizzo, for example. Lizzo recently lost a lot of weight. She looks great, in my opinion, right?
Mhm.
But initially, she felt like she didn't have an issue. She was like, I feel good. I look good. I'm out here. I'm going to wear what I want. I'm going to say what I want. Is that body dysmorphia as well in terms of the opposite?
To be honest, I would say I think that when you're in certain stages of your body or in life, if you feel this is the best I'm gonna get, if I want to just learn to be happy with it, because sometimes you're afraid to step into the unknown. So maybe she was afraid to put in that work and to change, or thought maybe it wasn't something that was for her. So she
Mhm.
just decided I'm gonna love me as I am, which is, like I said, that's a great thing.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that until she probably was introduced to a new way of living. Like if she was to come get the Beck effect and see, okay, love yourself, and hey, we can go somewhere else with it, and you can love yourself that way too. And there's nothing wrong with either version of you, because at the end of the day, it's what's in here.
I
So
love
maybe
that answer.
she just found a new way of loving herself. You know what I mean? This new version of her, but she was always fine. She just,
Yeah.
looking at it from from a different set of eyes,
She's always fine. Okay. And you better go get that Beck effect, Lizzo. I'll put that out there. So I want to pivot just a bit in terms of, having a healthy self-image of yourself. But your approach to fitness emphasizes creating lasting positive habits over, let's just say, quick fixes, right? So we
Yes.
all know, well, right now the craze is the GLP-1 drugs and all of that, which I don't necessarily condone. It's not for me. Like, I take the stairs, and so it is what it is. It might take me a little longer, but I just don't know those lasting effects, right?
Yeah.
Um, can you share some strategies that you use to help clients develop these positive and good habits that create lasting change?
Yes. Firstly, I'll say there are no shortcuts. You know what I mean? With all the new drugs and secrets out coming out, there are no secrets. There are no no drug is going to change your mindset. And that's why what I teach is creating healthy habits. So you're going to have to do the work, and no, it's not going to just happen overnight. But that's why you have to have your mind set on what you really want and what do you want to get out of it, so that you're willing to put in the work. And
Mhm.
then once you see that I really want this, and the work, yeah, it's maybe an extra step or two, but it's actually worth it because now I'm seeing the changes happening. I'm getting what I want, and I appreciate it more. When you go get a shot, and then okay, you're not as hungry, okay, but then your eating habits are still messed up. So you get the shot, you know what I mean? You don't eat as much, but then when you eat, you feel like you feel uncomfortable because your mind hasn't evolved to be able to support whatever else is going on in here.
Right,
So
right.
you don't have the discipline to do the hard work. So after a couple of weeks, you're back in the same situation, probably worse. So
Mhm.
it's really important to do the work, to train your mind to create these new habits step by step, so that
Mhm.
becomes natural. So it's not an obligation anymore. Now it's just part of your everyday. And that's what people need to grab onto versus quick fixes. Do something that's really going to be long lasting. And it
Yeah,
takes time, but it's worth it at the end, and you appreciate it, and you don't want to let that go.
right. Yeah. No, it's a lifestyle change. I preach this all the time. I may not be where I want to be, but when you create those lasting small changes, it changes your lifestyle, right? So I'm a 5 a.m.er. Like, I like to get up at 5 a.m. and go to the gym, and it just starts my day. But that was a lifestyle change that I had to lean into, right? So I
Mhm.
wasn't always an early riser, but now I am. And after I get that hour out the day, I'm good for the rest of the day. So
I feel you. I'm the same way. Get it out the way, and then after that, it may seem daunting, but you realize, dang, I got all this energy now, and now like the day's longer, and I got more time to do with the other stuff, and I'm good to go, and I don't have to worry about this part. Right.
exactly, exactly. Take care. Put first things first.
Do what you got to do. So you do what you want to
Do what you gotta do until you do what you want to do.
do.
Love that. Okay, so you worked as a celebrity trainer. I think you worked with Gabrielle Union before.
Yes, you're kind of the late great Michael K. White, a couple of great people in my history that's really helped me become the man I am today. So I'm thankful for that. Yes.
Okay, I love it. How does training high profile people differ from working with, let's just say, the general public?
Honestly, the only difference is maybe time
Mhm.
difficulties, time restraints, but I like to be the same across the board because at the end of the day, the results of what we're seeking, and we have to do the work all the same. And I'm a happy-go-lucky individual, so I'm going to treat everybody with respect and love and support,
Mhm,
whether
mhm.
you're the everyday Joe or you're on red carpets every day. So
Yeah.
it really doesn't change for me. The only thing is probably availability and having to deal with somebody being a little late. But you know what I mean? But other than that, I love helping people, and I love, being kind, to people. And I don't, everybody needs somebody like that. You don't know who doesn't have that in their everyday. So I like to be straight across the board.
I love that too. Now, we are at the beginning of the year, and of course, we always see an influx of people in the gym in January, kind of weans off in February and March. You'd be like, where y'all at, right? But sometimes we can attribute that to gym intimidation, right? So, how do you address it, gym intimidation, and make fitness more accessible to those who may feel intimidated by the traditional gym environments?
Yes, to that, intimidation is actually a real thing, even though it sounds funny as a word. But it's just that feeling that most people get when they go into the gym and they're a novice and they just see everybody, they see a bodybuilder over here to the right doing some big weight, and they see a group of, fit-looking people over here doing their thing, and they're like, "Whoa, where do I fit in? Where do I even start? How do I start?" And that's going to happen, okay? Because none of us start off perfect. None of us start as professionals, and it's okay to have that feeling. What I like to tell my clients, it's okay first, and then also being when you have a trainer, I have accountability partner, there's somebody help to hold your hand and get you from point A to B. But mainly, as long as you're worried about what you have to do, you're good. Everybody in the gym is trying to improve on something. Nobody is like, that's the reason why they're in the gym working. They're working on themselves. So you need to look forward, look at yourself, and worry about you. Because if you worry about them, you're not gonna get your work done.
Yeah.
Worry about you and make you your focus, your focal point. And that's, you ain't gonna worry about that. Let them watch you. You watch yourself.
Oh, you're right about that. And I also tell some of my girlfriends who don't work out on a regular basis, there's a saying at church that says, "Come as you are," right? Okay, so go to the gym as you are. However, if you go to the gym and you look good to you, right, and you feel good, like put on a nice little coordinated workout outfit with some nice little gym shoes, like that will make you more confident to me in the gym, right? So, because when you're doing those
Feel
exercises,
good. Yeah.
makes you
Whatever motivation you need to get in there, you know
yeah,
what I mean? Because you want that confidence. So whatever self boost you need, but
yeah,
I would say just but worry about you. Put
yeah,
your headphones in and just zone out. You can't be worried about what anybody else is doing because everybody's doing something specific to them. You know what I
right.
mean? You can understand that. But also everybody has started from the beginning. So if this is your beginning, give yourself grace to be a beginner.
Mhm.
And that's okay.
Now, listen. So, speaking of beginning again, right? So, I work out on a regular basis, right? However, when I go out of town, I'm off of my routine, and I find it hard for me to go to the gym when I'm somewhere else, right? So,
Mhm,
as long as my environment is controlled, I'm at home, my routine sets in, I'm good. It's
mhm.
only when I go out of town that I have an issue. So my question is, and this is a little personal. How should I adjust my workout routine to see results in a short amount of time, especially when I get back from like a vacation or a work trip?
So you're asking so you're saying after you get back from your travels, when you get back,
Especially,
how
yeah.
do you fast forward? I
I
guess.
want to I want to take the time that I spent not working out, eating
Uh-uh.
good, because when you out, you eat good.
I get what you're saying, but to be honest, like I said earlier, there are no shortcuts. So
Right.
it's like this: if you went out of town and you didn't do your cardio, you weren't eating right, then you come back home and your schedule's all off. But know what? Unfortunately, you're gonna have to just get back on that wagon and get to it because there's no way to just fast forward it. You know what I mean? But just start back on your routine and you start back eating healthy, and then you'll jump back in it. You have muscle memory. If you're something that you do constantly, it's not going to be too hard to get in it, but you just have to start. So shake that vacation off and just know that you got to start eating right and getting back to that 5 a.m. wake up call, get to it. But there's
Yeah.
no way to really, let me
Fast
just
forward
do
that
this
time.
real quick to make up. Nah, it's just okay. I did that. I was off my stuff. Let's
Right,
get
right.
back on it. Let me get back to eating right. And maybe you know what? I do my cardio in the morning and I'll do some more at nighttime. Let me just double down for a couple of days. And then I'll feel like I balance the scales a little bit.
Double down. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my cardio in twice today because I haven't done anything
There you
because
go.
I got in late last night. But anyway, I'm digressing. Um, the answer is there are no shortcuts. So just get back on,
Get
like you
to
said, the
work.
wagon and get to work. Okay. Now I also want to talk to you about another one of your passions, right? So you're also an actor.
Mhm.
Let's talk about your acting alongside your fitness career, right? So you have a movie that's coming out. Let's talk about that. But then let's also talk about the roles that you play in your acting. Do you also act as a fitness trainer, or are those kind of like the roles that you play, or do you play like a serial killer? I don't know.
I haven't had the pleasure of being a serial killer yet. I take it on good. I'd be honest, I think a lot of my roles have been based on appearance, but a police officer, football player, some kind of athlete, or
Mhm.
the good looking guy, you know what I mean, so to speak. You know what I mean? That's their opinion, not mine. But I mean, I just take every job that comes to me. I just do my best to perform well because I love acting. I love being playing pretend for a little bit and
Yeah.
learning on the job and meeting great people.
Mhm.
The movie that's coming out March 20th, Darwin, on All Black, the streaming network. It's a twisted, fun movie, and
Mhm.
yeah, it's a. I don't want to give too much away. It's a nice suspense thriller, something that you don't see in Black film a lot. So it's a good watch. And yeah, they do me dirty in this one. I ain't
Oh,
gonna give them away, but they do me dirty. So be sure to
yeah.
tune in on All Black March 20th, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Don't give it away, but now we're eager to see. We got to run to it. Now, how did you become interested in acting alongside fitness as well?
I've always been into entertainment period since I was a child, from music, singing in the choir. In school, I was always in musicals and plays and such. So I've always had that bug. I've always just enjoyed, anything, being in front of, people and doing what I feel God's given me the talent to do.
Yeah.
So it's always been something I wanted to pursue, and I've been blessed to have a lot of opportunities to do so. I just feel like if you have a gift, if you have gifts, don't waste them. And any opportunity you have to display them, do it, because you get one life. And if you got something on your heart and your spirit to do, showcase it. Don't be afraid, because somebody may get something from work that you do. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You just motivate yourself further. So if you have a gift, let the thing shine.
Let that thing shine. Listen, so as we're ramping down this interview, I want to know, what are your goals for the future of your fitness career, as well as some of the things that you're involved with in the community as well?
Yes, okay. I will say something I'm working on now. I haven't told too many people about because I like to keep things close to chest.
Exclusive. We like exclusive.
I'm a cadet recruit for the fire department of Atlanta. I've always wanted to be a fireman. I love serving my community and helping. Backstory: when I was a child, when I was like 5 years old, I drowned. I was in Phoenix when I was in a drowning accident. And I just remember waking up, eyes full of water, and the EMT, I remember working on me. And that stuck with me. Certain traumas stay in you. And
Oh,
from that day, I always said, I want to do that. I want to pay that forward. So I'm in the process of becoming a fireman. So yeah, I have all that going
congratulations.
on. So we're not in there yet, but we right around the corner. So
I
that's something
love
I
that.
plan on pursuing and getting into the academy by the summer. And I'm really excited about it. It's a deep passion of mine, along with changing lives in the gym. I also plan on doing more public speaking with the journal. I want to take this around the country and speak to people about the importance of, physical wellness, health, uh, mental health,
Mhm.
awareness, to our Black people, to kids. I really want to just be a vessel to, you know, impact change.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. And last question before we ask you, how do we get involved, follow you, your mission, book a session, like all that. So last question before we go there. Are there any upcoming projects and or initiatives that you're particularly excited about?
Really, we're setting up some tours now for the journal, some city tours here in the States. So one we were talking about with you earlier, hopefully Detroit will come to and get some book
Right.
signings. There'll be one here in Atlanta, hopefully the next 2 weeks. LA and DC we're working on. So on my socials, we'll be speaking more about that.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's the main thing right now, just getting the book out, the journal out to people so they can really have their lives changed, and we can
Mhm.
make some magic that way.
How do we buy the book? How do we purchase and support you with the book?
Good question. The book is live today on Amazon. So I don't know if you'll be able to put it on your website or whatnot, but it's
Absolutely.
on
Yeah.
Amazon. Mind Muscle Movement, a guided wellness journal. It's live today. So go
Mhm.
ahead and just get on Amazon. You can order your copy today. It'll be on my website, trainwithbeck.com. My socials is at the Stephen Beck across the board.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's that's where you can find me. And you can get access to the book and anything else relating to me.
Now, people want to know, how do they book a session? Like, are you super busy? Are you taking on new clients? How do we book sessions?
Yes, through my website, trainwithbeck.com. That's where you get to be able to access me and get information on training. I do
Mhm.
online training, virtual. So yeah, so if you're not here in Atlanta, if you're out of state, I can work with you through the app that I use. But if you're in person, I'm always taking on new clients and looking to help as many people as I can. So I'm never going to turn you away. I'll make do if I can.
Well, we certainly appreciate you. The Stephen Beck book is out today, guys. Go get it from Amazon. Go to his website. Make sure that you're checking in with all of the things that he's doing. Follow him on all the socials. If you want a session, book it. Then he'll be in Detroit sometime this
We're
summer.
gonna work that out.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
let's
work
do
that out.
it.
Stephen, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time today. We certainly appreciate you, and you take care.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. This was so much fun. I'll be seeing you this summer.
Absolutely, absolutely. Take care.
Okay. All right now.